If we look at the global retail market for traditional toys and games in 2015, sales actually fell 5% in US dollar terms, but this was largely a product of uh, increasing value of the US dollar against most major currencies. If we look at the market in constant terms, we saw a 6% increase. This was on the back of a very strong sales push from the new Star Wars movie at the end of 2015. This really gave a boost across all categories, especially action figures and accessories, but also in construction toys. And Lego was the biggest beneficiary there. They saw a 16% increase in sales of their line of construction toys. Much of the slowdown globally was caused by economic volatility in emerging markets. Markets like Brazil, Russia were particularly affected. However, we still see these markets, along with most of the other major emerging markets, as key prospects for the future. They will really be driving growth through 2020, along with the launches of many new tentpole movies that will be supporting the growth of licensed products. Overall, these factors will combine for growth of about 3% in terms of compound annual growth rate on a global level.
So, unlike traditional toys, video games were able to weather the currency fluctuations in the year and actually grew by 1% in year-over-year exchange rates. And in 2015, we're nearly a $100 billion industry. Much of the growth came from the continued rise of in-game purchases, which grew 14% in the year. This was DLC purchases for computers and consoles, as well as power-ups and character purchases for online games and mobile games. Mobile games were especially popular in the year for in-game purchases and managed to grow by 21% in sales during the year. This came from a lot of free-to-play game spending, and in the year, in-game purchases for mobile games constituted roughly 88% of all mobile game purchases. The other big story for the year was static consoles. During the year, static consoles sales declined by 1% to reach 36.5 million units. This happened despite the very strong growth of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which wasn't able to make up for the near evaporation of the previous generation of consoles, as well as slow sales of the Wii U. Other than that, VR got its start in 2015 with the Samsung Gear VR and Google Cardboard selling during the year, but it was still relatively small and only 2 million units. However, with the Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and PlayStation VR coming out in 2016, the market is expected to take off and by 2020 reach 25 million units.